Man, what y'all got going on YouTube? They saying he done killed a 1-year-old? Oh, fuck no.
Little Rodney.
I was trying to see could you at least give me one more chance.
I was 15 when I had him.
The young rapper was
He killed a 1-year-old? Nigga, he looked like a 1-year-old. What the fuck?
originally on probation for committing
Hell
arson in
no.
2019.
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral.
We got daycare crash outs now. This shit
Alright guys,
crazy.
so grab a seat, get a snack, and get comfortable because in today's video, I have a very tragic story for you guys. And I'm going to be talking about the story of Lil Rodney and how the world failed him. And I know other YouTubers out there
Damn,
probably
they said
haven't
the
even
world
heard
failed
of the
Lil
story
folks.
yet, as it's been flying pretty low under the radar. And if they did, they probably thought it wasn't important enough to talk about because, you know, most of them are way too caught up on the 24/7 cycle of pointless internet drama that really doesn't have that much impact on the real world for the most part. Anyway, let's
None.
talk about Rodney. So Rodney is a 12-year-old rapper from Fort Worth, Texas, who's currently serving a 7-year
Damn, why you
jail
gotta be from
sentence for
Texas?
shooting a 1-year-old baby. Yes, you heard that right. A gun that Rodney had in his possession was fired and hit a
Damn, Lil
1-year-old
folks got
child.
chops
Now, based
though.
on my understanding, the
That's
details
ignorant
under
as
how and
fuck.
why the gun was fired are unknown. Like, I tried turning into my alter ego, Detective Destiny, to find out why this kid decided to shoot a literal baby, but I couldn't find any specific details. However, my best assumption is that he wasn't specifically targeting the baby because that wouldn't have made
Shit,
any
I
sense.
hope
Like,
not. What the
what does he have
fuck?
against a baby? Like, nobody beefs with babies because, for starters, they can barely walk or talk. I mean, unless this kid just has some special affinity toward hating what are essentially just old people in baby form,
Chill,
the
don't do
theory
bro
of him
like
being
that.
out here in these
Don't
streets
do him
targeting
like
a
that.
baby out of revenge wouldn't make any sense. The more likely scenario, though, is that he was playing with an illegal gun, you know, the gun went off by
Hey,
accident.
nah, whoever edited
The
that going
scenario,
to hell.
what are essentially just old people in baby form, the theory of him being out here in these streets targeting a baby out of revenge
He
wouldn't
quick
make any
scoped the
sense.
baby.
The more
Hey, he
likely
going to
scenario,
hell
though,
for
is
that.
that he was playing with an illegal gun, you know, the gun went off by accident,
He got a
and the
good
bullet
spot
flying
in
out of
hell
the
for that
chamber
shit.
in an unspecified direction accidentally hit a 1-year-old child who was passing by. However, according to an article from HotNewHipHop.com, it says a young aspiring rapper will spend the next 7 years behind bars after he was found guilty of shooting a 1-year-old child. Lil Rodney, also known as 30
Damn.
Shots and Baby Savage, was just 11 years old when he reportedly
Your
shot the toddler.
childhood
Rodney
gone.
from Fort Worth,
Out of
Texas,
there.
had already been in trouble with the law in connection to an arson, so he was fitted with an ankle monitor. The young rapper told a judge that he cut the monitor off because he wanted to attend the funeral of a friend. However, he couldn't provide the friend's name. So yeah, that's a lot of
I
stuff
would
to
do the same
unpack, and by the
shit
time
though.
this
I'm
kid
not
gets
gonna
out of
lie to
jail,
you.
it'll be the year
I do the
2028. You
same
know, the
shit.
iPhone 7 would have been released, cars will no longer require human beings to drive them, and the cure for all cancers would have been found. In all seriousness though, this kid is royally fucked, especially since he has a prior criminal record for intentionally setting things on fire. And I don't know the specifics of what exactly he set on fire, as he's a minor and I believe those details could not be shared to the public because of his age. But obviously, you gotta be a little bit unstable to be setting shit on fire for fun.
Hey, I know that for real. Move, girl. I like that ass on fire. I like that ass. Nah, bro.
Although, after doing some digging around, I did manage to find a video of either Lil Rodney or one of his associates setting one of their friends who was sleeping in his car on fire. Check it out.
What the fuck? First of all, is his homies even old enough to drive? Like, let's start there. Y'all niggas 10. That shit burning his head. Oh, he gonna have alopecia. Oh, you bogus.
So yeah, as you could see in the video, you know,
He
that
done
man,
burnt the hair
the kid,
follicles.
whoever he is, he was just trying to catch some Z's. He was just, you know, taking a nap, trying to rejuvenate his body and soul. And then you got these weirdos out here who are intentionally
Nah, he
setting
bogus
fire
as
to
hell
his
for that
head.
one.
And I don't know how far that fire got, but it looked like it was burning right through the hood and straight to his hair. Like, my God, what in the... But anyways, as for the 1-year-old Rodney shot, reports indicate that the baby did indeed survive the shooting. It says here in a report from JordanThriller.com, police allege Lil Rodney shot a
Hey, if you a baby eating bullets at 1 year old, you hard body as fuck.
one-year-old baby after he cut off his ankle monitor, which he had to wear due to a previous
Can't
arson
shit
charge.
stop you
The
after that one.
baby miraculously survived. And luckily for Rodney, that kid survived because instead of getting out at 19, he would have been getting out of jail with a full head of gray hair and a full beard. Reports say that he's also in a gang, the Crips, and goes by the name 30 Shots or Baby Savage.
Alright, so y'all know the Baby Savage, the 12-year-old Lil Rodney. The first time we were
They got
he pretty much was
beans.
giving the op the beats.
They don't even got their
That
adult
dick
teeth yet,
on
and
the
got
8-bit
beans
guy,
on
J-Dub
sticks
Channel
and blocks
5.
and
But anyway, for his crimes,
titties
Rodney
on
had
her.
to appear in court in front of a man
This
named
shit
Judge
crazy.
Kim, who he's come across many times in the past before, and he had to hear how his future would be judged.
You do have a right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything you say at a detention cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. All right, so Rodney, you and I are familiar with each other. You are 11 years old. Wait a minute, yesterday was your birthday.
Yes, sir.
Now you're 12 years old. So, well, happy birthday. I'm sorry you had to spend it here at a detention facility. All right, so you were here you're on probation for arson.
I ain't gonna lie, that kind of fucked him over though. You hear 11, you like, damn, he real young. You hear 12, you like, alright, bro. Damn, you fucked up at the wrong time, my boy.
And that is from 2019. Then we've had all kinds of problems. Most recently, I let you go. You come in and out. I've always let you go because you're so young. I mean, you're 11 years old, right? So I didn't want to keep an 11-year-old in here. Now there is definitely a new charge.
And you 12 now.
Rolling back to April. That's the one where you shot the 1-year-old, Mr. Spence?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Like a 1-year-old baby.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so he's on probation for
They got
arson.
daycare
He's accused
beef.
of shooting a baby.
Babysitter
He's
beef.
11 years old, and he's smoking weed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Moore, what should I do at this point? Where am I at?
I don't know. But
Get his mama. She not even on the screen right
give
now.
me one more chance.
What the fuck?
See if
Hell
if
no.
I mess up, you should like hold me for some months.
Yeah, but didn't you say that last time? You told me you hold you for a year last time if I messed up.
Caught his ass. He said,
I don't remember.
What? Yeah, you told me
I
that I could
don't
hold you next time
remember.
and give you one more chance. Actually, you said that two times. And remember, and the last time I said, well, that's what you said last time. Why should I believe you this time?
don't go to
So,
crying
as
now,
you can clearly
bro.
see, Rodney was asking Judge Kim for a second chance, like any kid in that situation would. But the reactions from everybody watching when he said that says it all. I mean, it's clear as day that Rodney doesn't understand the gravity of the entire situation. He doesn't seem to have a firm grip on the reality of the circumstances. I guess
Clearly.
he just doesn't understand that shooting a baby is something that most people would be locked away in prison for the rest of their lives for.
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral. And I asked Mr. Spence. And
What
he
does that
said
got to
no.
do with pulling
And
the
then
trigger?
I missed JV and stuff because I was in here. And every time I miss one of my friends. So I tried to go to the funeral and Mike didn't let me go because I didn't know my friend's last name. And then I just had to.
How you don't know your friend's last
I didn't
name?
wanna-
I'm gonna skip past
Rodney.
that. What the fuck?
I think Judge understands your point at this point, okay?
No, so they want guns at the funeral? Is that where you're trying to go?
No, that was a long time after the funeral, Your Honor.
Pretty sad stuff, to be honest, and I kind of feel bad for the kid. But I do think that the judge is doing him a favor by putting him in a juvenile detention center, because oftentimes in situations like this, you have no other options, especially when they are repeat offenders. You know, it's better to get them off the streets and put them in facilities with professionals in hopes that they can help them hop off the dangerous path that they're all unfortunately on. And now, the thing you guys are
I think juvie should just be one long ass school day, like a double school day. Like you got fucking 8 classes. Like your ass should just be learning all day.
probably all wondering is how? How did a kid who's only been alive for only 12 years, born in 2008 and not even a teenager yet, end up in such a compromised position in life? Well, it all started on the day of September 15th in the year 2008. And on that day, Rodney was born to a 16-year-old mother whose father quickly abandoned him after he was born.
Bro
Rodney's
was
mom,
born in
now being a single
08?
mother
That's
with an already
crazy.
troubled life of her own, was now tasked with a responsibility that she was definitely not ready for. In an interview I found that Rodney's mom took after his hearing with Judge Kim, the interviewer asked her what happened to his biological father, and this is what she had to say about him.
What happened with his biological father?
I mean, nothing happened to him. It was kind of middle school, high school, you know, sweethearts or whatever you got. And then, like, when I got older, he
Babies
never
having
act
babies.
like he wanted to step up. So, shit, I never looked back at nothing. I just thought I stepped up for all his part and mine this whole time. I never looked back. I don't got time to be worried about no child support or what he gonna do, no birthdays, Christmas. He just non-existent to me. I don't look for him. He don't look for me, and that's cool. Like,
So you see, Rodney, from the time he came into this world, he was already at a major disadvantage. And the mom acts like she's totally fine with some dude knocking her up at 16 and leaving her with a baby boy all to herself to raise. But we all know that she's hurt by the fact that he never came back once to see his
Hey,
son.
everybody
But
makes
despite that
mistakes though.
fact, she said she stepped up
Shit.
and tried to fill the shoes for both mother and father for Rodney. But like I said before, with her being 16, having a troubled life of her own, and obviously not being ready to be a mother, she does admit that she has been to jail 2 different times since Rodney's been alive.
I went to prison.
That's a
I've been to
great
prison
role
twice.
model right there.
That's the only thing that ever kept me away from my son. It was just 6 months at a time when he was younger. So I guess it wasn't really that impactful, but it was.
And of course, she doesn't disclose the types of crimes she was locked up for, so I can't accurately judge how messed up of a person she might actually be. But if any
Man, I hope she set a good example for little bro, cause he need it, man. We out. J3.